Welcome back. This is Amka Kenya mazee. Vile niliwaambia tukienda break this Saturday from 5 p.m. Nawakumbusha tu that K24 itawaletea live the PFL. Kama wewe ni mtu unapenda zile vitu za action kupigana hivi kama mimi, I used to love akina Roman Reigns, akina Triple H. This Saturday from 5 p.m. tutakuletea that action live from 5 p.m. Ni form na wapatia ya weekend. Msisemi siku wapatia form, na wakumbusha from 5 p.m. K24 will be bringing you live the PFL matches. Theo, Linda.
All right, that's in order. So Saturday 5 p.m. this is a place to be, you know.
Exactly.
This is 5 p.m. prompt. K24 TV is the best place to be on Saturday 5 p.m. All right, let's now continue taking a look and reviewing the dailies. As we had mentioned earlier, there's that big story on the People Daily that is talking about how President Ruto allies are spewing vitriol in matters hate speech. And maybe, as we said, let's take a look also at one of the key, one aspect that is really disturbing on this issue, Mr. Karanja. It says is the aspect that NCIC has been very selective in how it is dealing with these politicians, because it is saying that now when you look at people like Farouk Kibet and even other politicians allied to the president, they've been left to go scot-free even after making such sentiments. Exactly. From your view, is the NCIC really selective in how it's dealing with such politicians?
The National Commission for Cohesion and Integration is an independent commission, but the way they're acting, they are not independent as per se. If you check even the formation of the commission, the board members and what have you, the board chair, David Kobia, Leveled, has been selective when it comes to arresting or to doing action against the people who are not favorable to the president. And this is not the first time. He has been that commission has been that, more or less that way. If the same mistakes are done by the opposition, they are only swift to act.
But actually seen it with Naivasha member of Parliament, Jane Kihara.
Yes. And if you find somebody else from even the evil allied to the president, they are untouchable in that commission.
So there's favorism.
There's a lot of favorism. And that should not be the case. Because being an independent body, its mandate is explicit. They should also be able to stand out and act, because you may find, and also to some extent, you may find even the commissioners, individual commissioners, they go in podium and defend themselves what they are doing based on the region they come from. You may find one commissioner come from Mount Kenya who will try to pretend he's so favorable to the Mulima people, to the same extent, but it is largely known this way. If you hear a dog barking, the owner is not very far. So you find, if you find Levin Kobi, the chair of the Integration Commission, talking something and want to arrest somebody, barely is just, some things you cannot even substantiate why he's here to arrest. But basically, if that commission, its term should be even terminated, and those people selected flesh, not because they are not serving the purpose of the.
So many questions should be raised in regards to their integrity,
the impartiality when it comes to dealing with cases of incitement.
And even also considering the way that panel was also selected, yes, it was not that fair. Yes.
Also, let's now shift focus to also another big story on the People Daily this morning. Is about Juja MP, that is George Koimburi. That is a story at the bottom left of page 2, Mr. Karanja, and it says the court has cancelled the arrest warrant against Juja MP George Koimburi over what they term was his stage-managed abduction. Maybe from your point of view, did this legislator abduct himself, or you also think or feel this is somewhat politically instigated?
Theo, there's something you may even ask yourself. How do you abduct yourself and also got to dump yourself in a such condition? There's a way, even if you are faking something, the fake should look clean. You don't have to, this is just stage managed. There's a propaganda.
Stage managing, is it the government stage managing, or is it the MP who is stage managing?
The MP belongs to, is pro-government. And you expect that was done by the government side, because the stories were given even the time in the initial stages of their arrest and what have you. The government knew more than we knew.
So Koimburi is pro-government or anti-government?
Is anti-government, sorry.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Because also during when this matter was being investigated by the DCI, it's good to note that there were testimonials and there were even phone calls that were tracked to
very fast.
Yeah,
very fast.
That were tracked, and it cited that he was in a particular hotel at a particular time when his abduction had been alleged. Yeah.
But again, if I may ask, kuna mtu anaweza ji-abduct kweli? Because if you look at the manner in which Koimburi was found in that thicket, seriously, Theo, hata kama ni wewe, hata kama ni political mileage,
that's too far.
And also, the Angui case also, there were allegations that he had abducted himself.
Yeah.
If you look, and I repeat, the way we saw him in a courtroom, the day he was presented after the alleged abduction, kama ni mtu mwenye alikuwa amekuwa abducted ile ya ukweli, hata by just looking at how he was appearing on the screens.
Could there be a possibility that they have been coerced on what to say?
No, so me also associate that the same scheme, the same scheme where we have Koimburi was alleged to be abducted. The same script where you find Diangui was the same case.
Yeah.
The same case, these other gentleman who was died here in the Central Police Station. Ojuang, the way he was told, before we came to know this story after, but the initial government story was that the guy banged his head on the wall and he died. The same script. It's the same script, but some did not go through. Some went through. So it's just things which are organized by these governments.
All right. Majibu, I don't know whether you have something on your end or we should move to...
Yes, on this is page 12 of the People Daily also. There's a story there about a group calls for national dialogue with conditions. Kumbuka kwamba pia kumekuwa na the push from sitaita opposition because they are now in government. ODM leader Raila Odinga saying that they are calling for dialogue between the Gen Zs and the political class. Na sasa kuna group inasema kama mnataka mazungumzo, then there should be conditions. Kuna wengine pia, I saw a tweet online that, okay, alikuwa anasema kama mnataka mazungumzo, then we are appointing, number one, Rex Masai, at least of the guys who are unfortunately killed. That directly kusema kwamba hatuna haja na mazungumzo sahi. Sijui kama, do you think the Gen Zs at this time really want the dialogue ama?
You see, what we've seen, above the conclave, the dialogue, which has been initiated by Raila Odinga, is a trick he normally used over years, since 1997, 1998, thereabout, to try to hijack a process which Raila Odinga did not start. If I ask you, and I saw another story where he suggested that each county to produce 40 members. I understand. Then each county to produce 40 members. The Gen Z, most of the Gen Z, the powerhouse is in Nairobi, right?
Yeah.
Then it's spread down there. So by the time you are trying to assume that you produce 40 persons from Nairobi, then produce another 40 from Lamu, another 40, it's heading nowhere. This should be initiated by those people.
By the government?
No, not the government.
By
the
Gen Zs themselves?
And the president should come low and address the people. The Gen Z themselves. That time he went to X-Space and he tried, the Gen Z were listening actually.
Yeah.
They had the mode to listen, but he actually turned back on them.
Yeah. And you know the irony is NCIC is the body that has been tasked to also foster this kind of conversations and dialogue. But now...
NCIC is a total dog. Just they're meeting the government money.
Na sasa tukisema hapo kwa kuchagua 40 people from each and every county,
who will moderate?
Yes.
Unadhani inaweza kuwa ni njia hii ya kujaribu kutoa wale unasema ni leaders, because for long the Gen Zs wamesema kwamba sisi hatuna kiongozi. Sasa kama mtachagua watu 40 kila county, useme haya ni hawa, tokeni kwa mazungumzo. Are they trying to like in some way pinpointing the Gen Z leaders, ama is it a way of labda to identify the Gen Z leadership?
Actually, if we belong to this country, all of us, and we don't have another country to go anyway. However, Raila is not the person to moderate or be close somewhere to do those things. This country have a majority of people are youth. And you find the youth, the Gen Z, they belong to certain age group. Up there's millennials, and then the ex-millennials and what have you. So this issue should be generated, it should be initiated by Gen Z and a few of millennials. And those are the ones which can bridge the gap between the old and the Gen Zs. However, the Raila-led initiative is just hiding. He just want to come to pretend that he's the savior and take a mount and go in the state and get a bigger cake. Whereas, I also recommend, the way you found the Gen Z, they are just, that clip, they say they were giving those people who passed on. Akina Alex Masai, Akina Ojwang, those are the people they want there. What are they say? We are not interested in this thing. It's not going on nowhere. But it's another trick to maintain the campaign, because we shall start now. We go to we spend time to go to each county after county after county. By that time, 1 year will be over. By the time we are coming to something conclusive, 27 is here. So the Raila has done his part, and Raila is a dog sent by his pastor to some extent. So
kwa hiyo sasa kama hawataki mazungumzo, kama mazungumzo hayatafanyika, Gen Z wafanye waendelee na maandamano, labda wakisubiri 2027 so that they can make the right decisions.
It's not healthy, maandamano day in day out is not fair. However, they should listen to the young people, and we have likes of young leaders. Actually, if that conclave was initiated by a younger leader, it would have made sense a bit. Even if the same one could have been made, let me give an example, if Baba Owino were the one who initiated for conclave, it would have made some sense. Somebody who can associate with the young people. If it's somebody like Dedenyoro who initiated those things, it could have made more sense. But when you find this, the Gen Z and Raila, they call that's a child and a grandfather. They may not relate as
intergenerational.
They may not relate as per se. Yes, it's unfortunate.
Yes, again, nawakumbusha on Saturday ni kesho by the way. On Saturday from 5 p.m. K24 TV unaitazama hivi sasa itakuletea live matches za PFL. Nakwambia kama ni mtu unapenda zile za kupigana ngumi vivi, maskani ni hapa K24 from 5 p.m. kesho. Usiende mahali, hata Theo pia wewe umekuja kazi mapema leo.
Nitakuwa 5 p.m.
Umekuja kazi mapema leo. Ukitoka hapa enda nyumbani ulale. Enda ulale nyumbani. Kesho pia pumzika. 5 p.m. tuna watch PFL matches live on K24 TV. Tunaenda breaks ndio? Haya. Tunaendelea na kipindi. Linda and Theo on your side.
That is Majibu Kitsao. Top 40 under 40 indeed brings such a level of energy to the show this morning. All right.
Unasahau nimekwambia ongeza Kilifi's finest expert.
All right, so on that note, let's also take a look at the other dailies, and now we cross over. Now we've looked at the People Daily. Now let's look at the Standard. The biggest story on the Standard this morning, it reads and says, ticking time bomb. Ticking time bomb, that is the Standard. One of the biggest stories right there. It says, in the skies above Nairobi's Wilson Airport, pilots are risking their lives and those of their passengers every single day. What was once a routine takeoff and landing is now a high-stakes gamble through a gauntlet of rogue high-rises, many built illegally in defiance of flight safety laws. At the heart of this looming disaster, listen to this, is a powerful northern Kenyan politician accused of twisting regulators into green-lighting unauthorized skyscrapers along critical approach paths. Once again, Mr. Karanja, we are seeing a scenario where a high-profile person in government overseeing illegal skyscrapers, not just anywhere else, but in the vicinity of the Wilson Airport. As the Standard mentions, this is risking the lives of millions of passengers.
True. And there's a caption there which indicates that it is a high-profile politician
from northern Kenya.
You know, northern Kenya, you associate with the Somali region and Somalis more or less. And you find those people, the government is also entertaining those things too much. Because you find, if you go even pass through the southern bypass as you meander to along Gong, you may find even in the signs of the forest, you find a lot of encroachment. And the encroachment are even entertained by these states. However, the irony here is that you find the same government who try to criticize, they are the one who give authority, but on the other hand, they are the one who come and pretend, they are the one who constructed those things, and the other on the other hand, which are they are the one who, the regulators, and they are the one really contradicting the things. The unfortunate thing is that this is Wilson Airport, and is a good hub for local flights and chartered flight, that is. And it's prime land. Because I understand those people, sometimes they say that the land which is remaining here in allowed Wilson Airport, they are about the prime land. So it's unfortunate that we are having these things.
Sasa hapo nani wa kulaumiwa? Kwa sababu nadhani kwamba kuna kuwa ile urban planning. Ukiangalia maeneo kama ya utawala, ni karibu na airport. Na kuna sheria kwamba kama unajenga apartment haufai kuzidisha certain floor. Na imekuwa hivyo maeneo mengi. Mbona tunashuhudia maneno kama haya? Wilson, nani wa kulaumiwa? Is it the government? Okay, najua wengi mtasema serikali, lakini kuna ile idara ambayo imetukwa jukumu la kuhakikisha kwamba kuna viwango fulani, kuna mikakati ambayo inawekwa sana karibu na viwanja vya ndege.
You know, before 2024, before you chime in, Karanja, there was a limit of 4 floors. And then the same government, Kenya Kwanza government, gave a nod to landlords to cap it at 25 floors. You wonder what were the parameters followed in regards to this? What were the planning behind this? And did they have such facilities in mind? You know, that begs the question.
One thing, some policies are made on the rooftop. I remember President Ruto, when he was in Siri, he gave that order that even Isri was capped as to certain floor because of the airbase which is there. But the same president went to Isri and gave instructions that you can go up to this floor. When that the rule must apply in if that is airbase. Why is it not? It cannot happen to Wilson Airport. And the president said so. As a junior officer. And junior mean even a director at that parastatal. Is a junior than far than the president. President said you go to 25th floor. That is CCD. So what makes you think that you cannot go to the same floor at Wilson, allow the Wilson Airport? That is the lot we have in this administration.
And you know, Governor Sakaja said during that time when they were giving the nod that the height limit was imposed in Nairobi in residential areas close to the airport.
That's true.
Who then is above the law to build such skyscrapers around the airport, which poses as a risk to both the pilots, the passengers, as well as the residents living around the area?
And does this also pose a very disturbing question about the crop of leaders that you have in office right now? These are leaders who don't care about the people who elected them. It is all about their pockets, and their money.
Yes.
Nakwambia Kenya iko na wananchi, wenye nchi na walanchi. Sasa chagua upande wako kule kwa wenye nchi, wananchi ama walanchi.
So, and how, Mr. Karanja, how do we firmly deal with this issue?
Until you know, most of the government, if a government is led well, should also be done also in the parliament. But the crop of leaders we have also in the parliament, they're all bought by the current regime. When they're hungry, they are taking their stomach. And I think the best, going forward, this issue of Gen Z and the Madamano and what have you, we'll catch up, and I'm sure even the next election, we shall have some changes in leadership, both in parliament, in the executive and in parliament. Because you may find that some things, even if you go and try to go and oppose that thing in court, then the president have interest, and the person who is also constructing the building there is somebody senior to the government, and come from northern Kenya. And when northern Kenya, they believe they have money. When you come to construction, you can attest in the things in ECD. They come and buy something, and you just left there to wonder. It's unfortunate that, but this thing will come to an end, may come to an end, if the Gen Z, they continue to push, and us, we should also support them with good ideas. We shall support them, not to criticize them aimlessly. As a government, the best thing is to listen to them first, and listen to those ideas, and stop doing things like the things which you don't continue pretending that you're doing the good thing, and then on the other hand, you're hurting the same process.
All right.
Yes.
So let's also take a quick look at the Daily Nation also. One of the biggest stories this morning on the Daily Nation, it reads and says, 6 counties get a bulk of 3.7 trillion shillings devolution cash. And now there's a list of the counties down there that are set to get a bulk of the 3.7 trillion shillings cash. And also on that is the far right, is that is Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, and it says arrest mountain protest plotters. Arrest mountain protest plotters, say Ruto allied Mount Kenya legislator. Let's start with the aspect of arresting Mount Kenya protest plotters, as alleged by allies to the president, Mr. Karanja. And maybe just as we wind this up, Mount Kenya legislators are calling for the arrest of the plotters of the protest, whereas on the other end, the opposition also accuses them of being behind or funding the protest. So where are we going with this?
It's a cat and mouse game here. Because I don't understand how you found Madamano in the region where you don't expect Madamano as per se. And one of the allegations in Mount Kenya is cut across to even, you can call it even Nakuru and what have you. You find if a politician tries to sniff out the truth, he will be arrested. That's why you find somebody like Kimani Ichung'wah will jump very fast and say that the government is doing something. They are arresting some people.
So another day, that they are making a lot of noise because somehow, somewhere, they might be at the center of
another day, remember, Jane Kihara alleged that the goons were blocked by NYS buses. Remember that clip? You may be surprised if the truth is known. If suppose the government did block the NYS team buses and cartels to go to loot and steal things from Mount Kenya, if Kihara is saying the truth, he may be she may be targeted to be arrested, and she will be trying a story will be brought that she had done an issue somewhere, but the government is trying to hide in between the protest and who sniffed them. But ideally, you don't expect you to kill your people. You don't expect Mount Kenya people leaders to come and start looting their own businesses and their own livelihood. The government has, I believe, maybe to some other twist you can try to associate these, that the government maybe, there's a truth that somewhere the government wanted to stop the Madamano by trying to bring the local people to attack their local businesses.
And again, are they trying to pull the tribal card in this whole issue?
To some extent. That's not very far.
All right. All right. So at this note, I think we are due for also another short commercial break. And also coming up on the other side is the continuation of this conversation on the Poly Talks. Mr. Karanja, thank you so much for making time with us. Thank you for helping us make sense of what is making headlines on the dailies. That is the People Daily, the Daily Nation, and the Standard. Thank you so much, and looking forward to having you again and again.
Thank you.
All right. Let's take that break.